I set my sister on fire for her 18th birthday. I had been looking forward to my sister's 18th birthday for weeks, but from the moment I woke up, she acted like I was invisible. I offered to help set up. James already has it covered, she said, pointing towards her boyfriend James across the room. And when I offered to do her hair, she laughed. I don't trust you not to mess it up. By noon, I found her in the kitchen and asked what her problem was. I know you've been talking badly about James to mom and dad, so get over your jealousy issues, she snapped. I have no idea what you're talking about. You're a liar, she shot back. So I fired back with, you're delusional, and James is going to get bored and leave you just like every other guy because you're exhausting to be around. Her face crumpled. Maybe you should just skip the party if you hate me so much. Maybe I will, I said. And our mom had to physically step between us. She shoved a box of candles into my hands. Go put these in the cake and cool off, and make sure you use all 18 because she's been insisting on it all week. I rolled my eyes but stormed off to do it anyway. By the time guests arrived, I had mascara streaks on my face and my sister wouldn't look in my direction. I ended up staying because I felt guilty, but my sister wouldn't speak to me. When the cake came out, everyone gathered around and someone handed me a lighter, and my sister leaned over all 18 candles with her freshly styled hair coated in hairspray. I touched the flame to the first wick and the cake erupted like a fireworks display, catching her hair instantly. She screamed and stumbled backward with flames climbing up her head, and people started throwing drinks at her while someone tackled her and smothered the fire with a tablecloth. The ambulance came and I tried to ride with her, but my mother physically blocked me. It was an accident, I said, but she just shook her head. Drive yourself. She doesn't want you near her. At the hospital, I sat alone in the waiting room for 3 hours while my family took turns visiting her room. My aunt sat beside me. I don't know what's gotten into you, but what you did today is unforgivable. I didn't do anything. The candles just exploded, I said, but she cut me off. Your sister told us you've been trying to sabotage her relationship for months, and after today, I believe her. My own father walked past me without a word, and when I tried to follow him into my sister's room, James stepped out and blocked the door. I need to talk to her. You should give her some space. She's scared of you now. I drove home at midnight trying to understand how my family had turned on me in a single day. The next morning, my mother called. Come to the house. We need to have a serious discussion about your behavior. I knew from her voice that I was about to lose my sister forever. The whole family was in the living room when I arrived, and every face looked at me like I was a monster. My mother stood up. We all love you, but your jealousy toward your sister has escalated to violence, and until you get help, we think it's best if you keep your distance. I tried to defend myself, but my uncle cut me off. Nobody wants to hear more excuses. They're not excuses. I didn't know the candles were going to do that, I said, but nobody was listening. My sister sat on the couch with James beside her and bandages around her head, and I waited for her to pile on, but she was staring at me with something uncertain in her expression. Wait, she said, and the room went quiet. You're my sister, and I've known you my entire life, and I can't believe you would actually try to hurt me on purpose. James rubbed her back. Babe, you can't let her manipulate you again. My sister shook her head, but she didn't know about the candles. Nobody knew they were going to do that. James squeezed her shoulder. You and I both saw how those trick candles were designed to humiliate you. Nobody moved, and my sister turned to look at him. I never told anyone they were trick candles because I didn't know until just now, she said. James's face went white. Someone at the hospital must have mentioned it. My sister pulled away. Who told you they were trick candles, James? He tried to laugh it off. Baby, you're not thinking clearly. She stood up from the couch. Where did those candles come from? Mom, who gave you that box? My mother's face changed. James handed them to me right before the fight. James stood up and grabbed my sister's arm. After everything I've done for you, you're going to stand here and accuse me? She ripped her arm away so hard she stumbled backward. And then he shouted, your sister was never going to stop turning you against me, so yeah, I made sure you'd never forgive her. And you don't get to be mad at me for that because you don't get to leave me. None of you get to decide when this is over. The room went dead silent. James stood there breathing hard with his finger pointed at my sister. And then I watched his face change as he realized what he'd just admitted. My father stood up slowly. My uncle moved toward the door. James looked around at all of us and then he bolted. But my uncle was already blocking the exit. My sister crossed the room and wrapped her arms around me so tight I couldn't breathe. I'm so sorry. Our mom called the police while my uncle and father kept James pinned by the door. And I just held my sister until the cops dragged him away.